Okay, good evening and welcome to the Vermillion Local School District Board of Education meeting, regular meeting for Monday, December 12th. Call the agenda, please.
Mr. Habermas?
Here.
Mrs. Ennis? Here. Mrs. Oates? Here. Mr. Stark?
Here.
And Mrs. Stepp? Here.
Item 3 on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence with the Vermillion Elementary Citizens of the Month. First of all, we're going to call them all up and have them introduce themselves. So if all the citizens of the month can come up. Who's first? First? All right. Good job. Single file line right there. Okay. So one at a time. We're going to come to the microphone. Ready? All right. So step up real close. Tell us what's your name.
My name is Ava Moore.
What grade are you in, Ava?
Kindergarten.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Curious.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
Cowgirl.
Great job.
My name is Ashley.
What grade are you in, Abby?
Kindergarten.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Love.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
An artist.
An artist. Very nice. What's your name, buddy?
Isaac.
Isaac. What grade are you in?
First.
Who's your teacher?
Mr. Melier.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A garbage bag. Garbage bag.
Stay here, buddy. Go to the end of the line. What's your name?
Miss Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. What grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Bartlemy.
What do you like to be when you grow up?
Marine biologist.
Awesome. What's your name?
Michaela.
I'm Micaiah. What grade are you in?
First.
And who's your teacher?
Michelle.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
A vet.
A vet. Nice. What's your name, young lady?
Addie.
Addie. What grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Faulkner.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
Vet.
Vet? Nice. Good job. What's your name?
Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. What grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Bill.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
Artist.
An artist. A couple artists. What's your name?
Lillian.
Hi, Lillian. What grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Hudson.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
A vet.
A vet. Lots of vets. All right, is that everybody? All right, great job, guys. So if everybody will stand now, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys can lead us, right? All right, guys, start us off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4 on our agenda is the student liaison update. Sarah?
Today we have Monica Hampton coming from Stairway Middle School with a couple students to show us some of the really cool technology things we're doing in our middle school. Hi, my name is Monica Hampton and I am new to 7th grade, and we adopted a textbook last year and did a collection out of it to start the school year about Americans having an overabundance of items. And so at the end of our articles that we worked on, we got the 3D pens out and actually used the 3D printer, and a couple of my students did each one, so I'm going to have them tell you a little bit about what they did. We have some items to show. Yeah.
My name's Destiny and Antonio, and I did a Sweet Home 3D. It's where you build like your own house on tiny house on the computer, and we had to do a 300 square foot house and to see if we could live in it with 4 other people.
For how long?
Forever. I also did a with the pen, but then I chose to do this instead.
Which one did you like better? The pen or the-
I like the home because I could decorate it however I wanted, and then after that I got like some free time to just build outside.
So Desmond, why don't you show a few of the items that you made?
What do you want to do when you after you graduate?
Oh, I would like to be an FBI agent or a bone anthropologist.
Wow.
So this is how big that we chose for our tiny house, and we got to choose if we'd rather have a staircase or just a ladder that would take up less space. And we chose a ladder so we could put like other stuff under it. And we chose a bunk bed because 3 people could sleep on the bottom and 1 person could sleep on the top. But just in case for more comfort, we had another bed and a couch downstairs. And it's just a little couch and a bunk bed. And then there's another bed. Oh, and then here's my little chair.
How long did it take you to make some of those?
Really, all of this was just made in, well, this was
class
made
period.
in the classic period, and I think this was made the next day.
All right, Aiden, do you want to come on up and?
My name's Aiden Beth, and I also did a Sweet Home 3D. I designed a house with a couple other people who couldn't make it today, but we had ours 3D printed on the 3D printer we had in the office. Now, with this, it shows how small the house actually would be if you would live in it. And it would be hard to live in it, but our group decided that we could possibly be able to live in there for as long as we could. It's a little destroyed, kind of, because it's the first time we use this website for a 3D printing, and it was pretty fun to do this, and it was something that was way different from what we were usually doing in class.
What do you want to do when you?
I would like to serve in the military.
Awesome. So is this kind of to illustrate that we all have way too much stuff?
Yeah. Yes, because it was just, the articles had to do with some archaeologists that would look at landfills, and you could see the evolution of the television set and how the newer, the latest and greatest came out. And it also, people walking into superstores and not really thinking much of it. They're just going through their carts and grabbing this and that, like Costco or Sam's Club, and how we just have so much. So this was kind of the end of it. There was a paper that went along with it. They were split into groups that could work anywhere from 2 to 4 students, and they had like a rubric at the end where they had to pick certain items and what they wanted to go within their house, and could they do it? You know, give us an honest, everyone in the group, do you think you could live in a tiny house? Do you think you could give up all of the items and the luxuries that you have in your home? And I'd say more often than not, the students were willing to say, yes, I think I could do it. So it was a very fun project, especially for me, and seeing the artistic design come out of the students and how everybody was busy. There wasn't anybody that we had off task at all, and especially just what this took days. And I was excited to come into work and see how far it had gotten. So it was just neat for us and I believe the students.
Great job.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5, the legislative update. Mike?
I'm just going to report on Senate Bill 3. The bill provides relief from several mandates in the law. Some of this relief is available to all districts, some is only available to qualified districts. It's been stuck in the House Education Committee for a couple of months. They've been adding some amendments to it. So I won't go into all of it, but hopefully, this is an education deregulation bill, so I'll keep everybody updated on how that's going if it passes.
All right, thanks, Mike. Item 6, Superintendent's report.
Okay, I'm just going to do a quick review of my goals. I gave them all to you in the weekend review, but I've got a hard copy here. Does anyone want it? Should I just pass the hard copies out? Okay. Okay. All right, I'm just going to highlight the main points and not read this to you verbatim because I know you probably had a chance to read it over in the weekend review, but the first 25% of my performance objectives are for the academic goals, and as we have done in the last 9 years is to work with the Ohio improvement process and our district leadership teams as well as our building leadership teams. And so we review those goals and we go over those academic plans. We're not any longer required to do this by the state because our report card scores really have been good enough not to have us do this, but we've chosen to do it because we think that it organizes us and it helps us to think through the process and it keeps us on task. So we're going to continue to work with the state. We do modify what the state gives us. We don't do it exactly in their format. And so it's good we try to minimize, because if you allow the state to just come in and do it in their standard format, it's much more time consuming than we think that we really need to spend on it. So we have modified it and made it more teacher friendly and staff friendly because I don't think that we need to spend as much time as the state insists that you do if you're identified as a school that has issues. So I continue to do the walkthroughs. As I said, actually that lesson that Monica just came up here to do, I was in on those discussions and it was really fascinating to see the kids work on those projects because, and that's one of the things that we're encouraging is that individualization and personalization in everything that we're doing. And that particular lesson, they did have the rubric and they had some writing lessons that were attached to that. And one of the things that they worked on within that class besides the 3D printer was the 3D pen, which she didn't really give a chance to show you here tonight, but in the professional development that we had, it's actually a pen that has a plastic lined filament just like the printer. And it takes some getting used to manipulate, but she made that house out of that 3D pen, and that's pretty tough to do. But connecting all those pieces was not as easy as it looked. It's a little bit easier to use the printer, I think, because it does it for you once you design it on the computer, but the 3D pen is something that you have to manipulate. So we're just trying to give those opportunities to our students, and hands-on projects and things like that we're encouraging, and I'm writing a lot of feedback to the teachers as I get into their rooms. As you know, 100% graduation rate of our seniors is always our goal. We have not gotten there in the 8 years that I've been here. Hopefully we'll get there this year. There's always a couple that seem to have some challenges, but we keep up with them after they graduate. So we'll continue to do that and continue to track them and do the best that we can. One of the things that we're going to be doing after January is to write a writing component to our curriculum that I think that is going to strengthen what we do academically. I know that some of you have kids in college already, and writing is one of the things that is highly stressed in college, and I think that we need to work on that area, and we've identified it as an area that we can get better at. So look to see quite a bit of professional development with that and some improvements in the writing process. The next goal is staff development and staff relationships. Continue to meet with the Labor Relations Committee And we're already beginning, believe it or not, to outline our preparation for the negotiations in 2019, because there's always things that we see, and the VTA as well as the OPSI, the classified staff see that could be improved in that contract, so we'll continue working on that. Part B under staff development is to maintain goals and objectives for the quarterly report. I've done all of the mid-years already for all of the staff, and I did submit 5-year plans for the technology. I should say they submitted them to me, which I submitted to you, for the 3 departments: special ed, operations, and technology. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that tonight in executive session. As you can see, those are the professional development plans, and writing across the curriculum is at the top of the list. I won't go through all the rest. Board community communication objective. Believe it or not, we're still not 100% done with that lot split. We're just getting the paperwork finally back, and we should be ready right after the first of the year to sell Vermillion Elementary School, the old Vermillion Elementary School. So I know that was one of the things that is our goal, and we'll get that done, but it's been a long time getting the paperwork finished. We also just found out too that they want to put an easement across a gas line easement across the front of the property, and so we'll work with them, and we have a little bit of negotiating to do on that. My weekend review is something that you know that I consistently and constantly put out to you every week. Back onto the back page, the school zone is something that we're working on, as well as continuing to improve the website, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. On to number 4, campus safety and security. I'm not going to say too much about that because we try not to publicize a lot of the things that we're doing, and we're going to continue offering drills and having unannounced visits to principals that they have to have certain crises occur so that they know what to do in the event that those things happen. And down at the bottom, those are all kind of optional things that you can read through. I won't go through all of them, but any questions?
Going through that, Dave?
Sure.
Item B, the treasurer's report.
Recommend resolution to approve November 30th, 2016 financial reports.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any questions before we?
Just me tonight. Everything I've touched.
I think your laptop might need to sign in, Mrs. Wilson.
Huh?
I think your laptop might need to be signed in too.
Okay, this is the review as of the end of November, comparing the 5-year forecast to the year-to-date actual amounts. And we're 41.67, almost 42% through the year. So our state foundation and our state restricted revenue are pretty much on target at 41 and 43%. Total revenue, we're at 47%. And as I've discussed before, our real estate we get twice a year, so that's why we're slightly ahead. And on our expenditures, our salaries are at 41%, fringe benefits at 37%, and then the remaining purchase services, supplies, and capital outlay, we've talked about again before that those are usually spent early in the year. And then our debt, we've paid some of our debt, the debt on the House Bill 264 and the the lease payment for the school district that we did the renovations. And other expenditures at 40, with a total of 41% on our expenditures. Any questions?
Call the roll.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates? Yes. Mrs. Ennis? Yes. Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Number 2, recommend a resolution to approve payment of the following invoices. $5,217.50 to Mohican School and Out of Doors Incorporated, $408.44 to Phone Incorporated, and $32.42.91 to Justin's.
I'll move. Second.
Any questions? Good, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And number 3, recommend a resolution to accept the donation of $1,500 from James and Susan Rosa to support building programs. $500 will be allocated to each building budget.
I'll move.
And second.
Call the roll.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Item 7 is the consent agenda. The superintendent and treasurer recommend that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda items. Action by the Board of Education in adoption of the consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one single motion unless a member of the board, the treasurer, or the superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately. Item 1, approve the minutes of November 21, 2016 regular board meeting, attachment B. Item 2, approve the following fundraisers per policy 5830, the winter formal refreshment sales, January 14th, 2017. Item 3, approve amended school calendar for the 16-17 academic year to add a teacher professional development non-school day on Friday, January 27th. Item 4, approve participation in the Ohio School Boards Association Legal Assistance Fund for fiscal year 2017 at a cost of $250. Item 5, approve the following employment actions. Resignation for retirement purposes of Diana Mitchell, teacher, effective at the end of the 16-17 year. 1-year special projects contract for special needs training on December 19th to the following as listed. 1-year additional duties contract for the 2016-17 contract year to the following. Brett Dawson, SMS, Mohican Instructional Chaperone, Level 0, Step 1, $292. Kimberly Judd, Drama Director, VHS, Level 22, Step 0, $3,832. James Klein, Independent Study, VHS, Level 1, Step 2, $500. Janelle Molnar, SMS, Mohican Instructional Chaperone, Level 0, Step 3, $375. A 1-year supplemental contract for the 16-17 contract year to the following, pending satisfactory completion of a background check and pupil activity permit. Aaron Budka, Assistant Wrestling Coach, VHS, Level 22, Step 0, $3,832. I'll move.
I'll second.
Are there any items that anyone would like removed? Okay, then call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Item 8 was reserved for items removed. There were none, so we'll move to item 9. Item 9 is public participation. If anyone in the audience would like to get up and speak, you can step to the podium and tell us what's on your mind. Nobody? Lots of students, yes. All right. Item 10, date and location of upcoming board meetings held at Vermillion High School, 1250 Sanford Street, Vermillion, unless otherwise noted. There's an organizational meeting on Monday, January 9th at 6:45 p.m. A regular meeting at Monday, January 9th at 7 p.m. And those are typos, that's 2017, right, instead of 16? And then proposed meetings on Monday, February 13th and Monday, March 13th, also 2017. So, everybody's good with January 9th, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. Item 11, recommend a resolution to move into executive session for the purpose of appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employees.
A second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
And Mrs. Staub?
Yes.
7 times.
7:26.